Hey friends, for some reason, the first 25 seconds of my sound on this video didn't record. But what I was trying to tell y'all is I come across an article that reminded me of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. It's about Elizabeth Holmes. The way that she was talking about her prison time did me of her. Let's get back to the video. And now she's in prison. Now she's sitting in prison, y'all, for fraud. So I remember the first time I heard about Elizabeth Holmes, I walked into Walgreens in St. Louis, and there was a huge poster up. This campaign that they did, this one drop of blood, had the one drop of blood and her little nanotainer and stuff. And I got excited. Something I haven't really shared anything about is that I have an autoimmune disorder and it's not going to kill me. I'm not disabled, nothing like that. But it does make life difficult. I have to work around it every day and it sucks. And I got really excited listening to Elizabeth Holmes talk because she would say stuff like, do you know that you have a basic human right to have access to all the information in your blood? And I was like, oh, I don't know how that's real, but I like that. I want the access to all the information in my blood. Give it to me, Elizabeth. Come on. Yeah. So she developed a board of people who believed in her vision, and it was impressive. It was insane. People said it looked like she was about to take over the world, not take over healthcare. She got James Mattis, General Mattis, Mad Dog Mattis, a war hero on her board. Henry Kissinger, Schultz, whatever the other one was, I can't remember. It was really wild. Like she had these people convinced that her equipment was already being used on the battlefield in Afghanistan. So you got people like that saying that, and we all believed it. Everyone believed it. Wasn't true, y'all. Wasn't true. She was a fraud. What's really interesting to me about this article currently is how much it reminds me of one of our favorite subjects, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. The lack of accountability and sense that, I shouldn't be in prison. This isn't for me, and I'm going to come out and do the exact same thing. Oh, let's just take a look together, y'all. See what y'all think. Okay. Elizabeth Holmes breaks her silence in her first interview from prison. It's been hell and torture, exclusive. Let me just skip to the good parts, y'all. Okay. The tough reality of her life today is a nightmare of her own making. Yes, Elizabeth, a nightmare of your own making. After serving nearly 2 years of an 11.25-year sentence, reduced to 9 years for good behavior for fraud and conspiracy over the collapse of Theranos, she is speaking out for the first time in a prison interview conducted in a cold visitation room furnished with vending machines and blue plastic chairs. Good. Good. I hope she's not comfortable. Gone are the black turtlenecks and crimson lipstick that she wore when she dazzled Silicon Valley in the national media as the bold CEO of a startup. Okay, the black turtleneck thing really irritated me because I'm a black turtleneck girly, and she was trying so hard to be the next Steve Jobs that she went down to straight up just copying his aesthetic. And so, yeah, there was a little stigma there for a while for us girlies who like to wear black turtlenecks. Thanks to Elizabeth Holmes, she says, I'm not the same person I was back then. Holmes, who pleaded not guilty at her trial, maintains her innocence today, albeit while vaguely acknowledging there are things I would have done differently of her path to lockup. Now, this is a quote from Elizabeth. It's surreal. People who have never met me believe so strongly about me. They don't understand who I am. It forces you to spend a lot of time questioning belief and hoping the truth will prevail. I am walking by faith and ultimately the truth, but it's been hell and torture in here. Okay, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. It's surreal. People who've never met me believe so strongly about me. Yes, because you had a trial, a criminal trial, where facts were presented and a jury of your peers decided and the public decided. We get to do that. And all of those decided you're guilty, Elizabeth, just like Gypsy Rose. Okay, at 20, she dropped out of Stanford University in her sophomore year. Yeah, that's what, if y'all remember, Bill Clinton was talking about. Oh, she was 19 when she started her first business. Well, we know now from her professors from Stanford, yeah, she might have been 19 when she started that, but she was also being told by everyone then that this idea won't work. It's not possible. We don't have the technology, and there are physical reasons why it's limited. The one drop of blood, that the testing can't be done on that small amount of blood that she wanted to do. There are physical limitations to blood testing. And she just didn't wanna believe it. She wanted to do a Steve Jobs thing and like people do with technology and think that, oh, if she just believes it and dreams it hard enough, she can hire someone who will catch up the physical technology to her dream. That's what it was, y'all. That's what she did. And after it all came crashing down, she ran off to Burning Man with this hotel air dude named Billy Evans, and they then kept having babies with him, just in time for her to be big and pregnant at her court trials. Make of that what you will. Holmes is still processing the downfall that wiped away her entire fortune, and she considers the trial and conviction in a San Jose courtroom in 2022 to be a miscarriage of justice. First, it was about accepting what happened, says Holmes about her relationship with Balwani. Then it was about forgiving myself for my own part, and I refused to plead guilty to crimes I did not commit. Theranos failed, but failure is not a fraud. Okay, she keeps saying this failure is not a fraud. It failed because it was a fraud, because she never had the technology she kept claiming she did. Like, this is cognitive dissonance at its finest, and it reminds me of Gypsy Rose Blanchard sitting there saying, "I don't identify as a murderer. I didn't do the actual kill." It the cognitive dissonance is strong with these 2, y'all, and let's just hear how disturbing this is. Okay, so on the stand, doctors and patients testified that the blood test Holmes developed and marketed were a healthcare scam. One woman claimed test results showed she'd had a miscarriage when she was actually pregnant. Another patient was told he might have prostate cancer when he didn't. A third received a false HIV diagnosis. Holmes and Balwani were ordered to pay 452 million in restitution. Now, Elizabeth, she rambles on about everything that she's doing and how important being a mother is to her, and blah, blah, blah. I don't believe any of that. I think those children were props, unfortunately. But then here is the crazy thing to me. Okay, she talks for a little bit. She says, she's scheduled for release April 3rd, 2032, and she hopes to travel with her family and to fight for reform of the criminal justice system. There's nothing to be reformed here, Elizabeth. You're getting what you deserve. You actually deserve more. This will be my life's work, says Holmes. Bleh. Now, here's the kicker. Despite her global reputation as a biotech con artist who put lives at risk, she says she's continuing to write patents for new inventions and plans to resume her career in healthcare technology after her release. There is not a day I have not continued to work on my research and inventions, she says. I remain completely committed to my dream of making affordable healthcare solutions available to everyone. What the hell, y'all? Yeah, it's giving Gypsy Rose Blanchard. It's giving, "Oh, I should have never been here in the first place. I need to get out and continue my work." That's what Gypsy wanted to do, get out and continue her public speaking, figure of inspiration. She made a mistake. It was just a mistake. Multi-billion dollar fraud on Elizabeth Holmes' part, and fraud that affected people's healthcare, their actual health, and their mental health when they got incorrect information. She believes that that was just a mistake. And Gypsy, the MURD of her mom that she planned and executed through her tool and mentally handicapped man, Nicholas Godejohn, it was just a mistake. One bad mistake. No, these are not small, easily forgiven, easily moved on from mistakes. You're marked for life when you do huge things like this. Anyway, what do y'all think?